Hi, this is Joost, and I wanted to talk to you about my Google Analytics for WordPress plugin. Of course, you could just embed your Google Analytics plugin straight into your theme by editing the header or footer file and just throwing in the script that Google Analytics gives you. But you'd be missing out on an awful lot of features. My plugin, if you've installed it, will add all sorts of metadata to your tracking code if you allow it to. First, you'll have to authenticate. I've already done that here, but the process is simple. You click the button, it goes to Google, you say grant access, and it'll return. That might take a while depending on the speed of the connection you get, and then you can select the account and which profile you'd like to track. Then you say where to put the header, where to put the tracking code. Normally you don't have to change this. Now, if you want to play with this, be sure to check both these boxes. Tracking outbound clicks and downloads means that from now on all the links in your content will be automatically tagged by the plugin and tracked as events within Google Analytics. The advanced settings give you a whole lot of options. It begins with the custom variables. The custom variables are variables that Google allows you to add to the tracking code on a per page or per session basis. So, for instance, you can track whether the current user is logged in or not, so you can later filter those people out if you want. You can track the post type. This is especially useful if you've got custom post types. For instance, if you have a book site and you want to track whether people are looking at books more than they are at authors, and you've got custom post types for both, be sure to check this box. You can check by the author name. If you've got multiple authors, you know which author is getting the most page views, and there's a whole lot more things to do here. You can ignore users, so you could ignore the administrator, in this case me, and you can do an awful lot of things here that most of you probably won't need, but that some of you might. You can also, if you do a lot of affiliate stuff, track internal redirects such as yoast.com/out/anything and give them a specific label so that they're tracked as events and you can use them within your analytics. Last but not least, it's got a debug mode. Just enable this and you'll be on your way to debugging your Google Analytics installation. Now let me show you some of the metadata that this plugin has gathered. As you can see, it tracks visitors and all the stuff that a normal tracking code would do within Google Analytics. But if you go to visitors, custom variables, you'll see that there's a whole lot more information now that you hadn't seen before. Author is probably one of the most interesting ones, where it shows how many page views each individual author has had on your blog over the last few months or whatever time period you have selected. As you can see, most of it's mine, but there are actually a couple of other authors who still get decent page views. Well, there are a couple more custom variables like that that I use on my own site. As you can see, Google Analytics is not always fast, and the more data you put in it, the slower it'll become. So, not really to do with custom variables, but it has to do a whole lot with how many page views you do. This is boring data here, but if you can imagine that you've got several custom post types, this could be very valuable data to use. Another custom variable that I like a lot is the category custom variable. On my blog, my posts are usually in only one category, and that means that if I check this view, I can see which categories on my blog are performing the best. Another part of Google Analytics that will show valuable data that this plugin has added for you is the event tracking part under content. If you go into categories, you'll see where, for instance, people have clicked things. These are all outbound clicks. They are all prefixed with outbound, and some are downloads. And if you click on download, you can actually see which files people have downloaded. So, especially the Google Analytics plugin has been downloaded an awful lot over the last month. So I hope you now understand why you should be using the Google Analytics for WordPress plugin and not just simply adding the tracking code to your blog. Have fun with it, and please do let me know if you use it and if you think of anything that should be added.